So friends, welcome back to another video here on my channel, Healthy Rain, the Woke Witch. Today I wanted to talk with you about how to deal with the cards, the tarot, your practice when you're feeling down, on those days where you're feeling low and vulnerable in a sense. So sometimes you can get really triggered, some of us can anyway. It's easy to feel worried about being triggered, so I thought I would share some tips for those days, which I'm sure most of us have at some point, especially us who suffer with mental health issues such as anxiety, depression and so on. Number one, the first thing to know is you don't have to pull cards, and it seems simple, but sometimes you sort of need to hear it. Like, you don't have to pull cards just because it's a part of your daily practice and you want to keep it up. You can just take a break. You can be like, no, I don't want to have to even look into how I feel, myself, my life, anything today. I just want to cut everything out and just be, you know, and that's okay. Like, some days that is the right way to go, not always, but sometimes it is. If you're really feeling the worst, and that's absolutely fine, and just know that you don't have to pull cards, you don't have to feel guilty. Just know that, yeah, I'll be back to that tomorrow or the next day. It's no big deal. Just because I'm taking time off, it doesn't make me any less spiritual, it doesn't make me any less of a witch. It's not going to harm my practice, it's not going to harm me. So I think that's the thing, we can often guilt ourselves, and it's just like a don't feel guilty, basically. That's what I'm saying. Next thing that you can do is you need to remind yourself the cards are just a tool to help you, to guide you, not to dictate to you. So just remember that, okay? When you're feeling low, sometimes it can be hard to remember that, you know, it's not here to dictate to us, all right? Don't worry if the darker cards come out or the heavier cards come out. It is likely going to happen when you're feeling more vulnerable and low on those days, and just know that it is just playing witness to you, you know. So just don't worry, it's not dictating you, it's not predicting for you, it's working with you, especially if it's a part of your daily practice. Next tip is, instead of pulling cards for your daily, don't pull cards for that day. Pull cards, but just not for that day. Find fun spreads and do fun spreads instead. So there's so many spreads that you can do that are not determined on that day. It would be good just to bring your attention out of the day, taking your attention away from the day and onto something else that's not related to you in this moment, on this day, so it takes all the pressure off. And I will put up on the screen now some spreads that I found that I think are perfect for this, okay? I find something that really helps me control my anxiety when I focus on doing something like sketching. So a good way to still work with the cards without feeling that pressure, you can just pick a card that you want to draw and sketch out a card. If you can just ask the deck, give me a card to draw, or you can just pick from your favorite deck what card and image you love, and just try sketching it out freehand and have fun with that. Chuck on a YouTube video or something while you're doing it. Just let yourself get into the flow, and you will start to feel, I can pretty much guarantee you'll start to feel your anxiety decrease a little bit and your mood improve a little bit. It's just those little baby steps that are sort of no pressure and distracting in a way. Like, I don't believe that you should always try and distract away from your negative emotions, but sometimes when you're feeling really in the depths of it, it is the best way to go. So trying to sketch out one of your favorite images of your favorite decks is a great way to pass the time while still feeling connected to your practice. This is quite an obvious one, but just in case you hadn't thought of it, If you have oracle decks, go for the oracle, don't go for the tarot. The tarot can be a bit of a hard hitter sometimes. On my worst days, I'll go for an oracle deck over the tarot. Then I'm just like, I can't face my normal practice, I can't face anything, I'm lucky to even get out of bed sort of vibes. Then I will often go for an oracle and choose a real hug deck, a deck that's just going to inspire me in my spiritual journey, that's just no pressure. So the last bit of advice I have for you is to find yourself a message through a pick a card reading. If you've not done pick a card readings, I really recommend giving it a go on those low days, on those days where you feel really disconnected from yourself. Usually when we're feeling really low, we feel very in the mind space, we feel very triggered and disconnected from our higher selves and our spirit guides. So I find a really good way to connect back in with a message from my guides, from my higher self, is to find a pick a card. It's not that hard. If you already follow a lot of YouTubers, you're likely to come across some in your subscription, or just search pick a card messages from my guides or something. Pick a video you feel most drawn to, you feel pulled into, and when you watch that, there'll be a message there for you, and it'll be a message from your guides, and you won't have to doubt yourself. Is this coming from my low energy? Is this coming from my mind, my ego, because you're feeling more in that place? You know that it's coming from your guides because you was guided, and that person was just literally passing on a message that was for you. And that's the beauty of pick a cards, is that they're really there when you need them. So find one that's like a message from your guides, a message from your higher self, a message from your angels. I have a few like that on mine, like messages from dragons and goddesses and just any kind of guides. There'll be a message there for you. I only ever watch pick a cards on my lower days where I feel like I just want to break from my practice. I'm feeling quite disconnected from myself. I highly recommend trying that out, and it really does like get the message to you that you need, and you don't need to worry about your ego getting in the way. What I will say is don't overdo it. I wouldn't do more than 1 or 2 pick a cards a day. You don't want to start just clicking pick a card after pick a card and then you start actually losing sight of the message. You want to take that 1 pick a card or 2 pick a cards, and you really want to soak up the message that was there for you and act on it, because that message will be there to help you on this day or in these dark moments. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope that some of these tips were helpful for you. Definitely let me know down below your thoughts, and I'll look forward to reading them and connecting with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.